Okay, so I want to talk about what cultural icons are and how they develop and what they actually mean in relation to pop culture and how culture changes. So first of all, let's talk about what are icons. So you can see here that icons are things and places and people. So for Australia, this is pulled from a website. They reckon that the koala and the kangaroo are Australian icons. I don't think we could disagree with that. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, Sydney Opera House, got it. Ned Kelly, okay, that's where it starts to get interesting, because is Ned Kelly really an icon? Is that something we think defines us as Australians? And I think that's worth talking about in relation to Australian culture and the kind of portrayal of ourselves in the rest of the world. The Lamington, I can't remember if that's one of the contentious ones of whether or not New Zealand or Australia made the Lamington. And then we've got 4 people there that we are just calling icons of Australia. And of course what they are is the entertainers, those people. And then I think that's an interesting question too, of whether we want Australian icons of people to be entertainers, or do we want it to be the scientists that we have in the world? Because Australia actually produces a lot of research. We have a lot of successful scientists, but we don't really hear about them. So icons are things that are commonly known, that are popular. It can't be an icon unless it is popular and it is accepted by a wide range of people as being something that defines the culture of the day. So a cultural icon can be a thing, so we've got the animals, a place, or people. Of course, different movements also have icons, right? So on this slide, I've got a fair few images I'm going to talk through, and these are a part of popular culture as well. So you'll see here I've got 2 icons of the feminist movement there. It was the Pussycat hats that were developed as a part of the protest associated with the Me Too movement. And then down the bottom we've got girl power on purple, because the international colours for women are purple, green and white, and that comes from the suffragettes. So icons can last throughout time. So the colours of the feminist movement, they've been around for a very, very long time, but icons can then be new and still represent the movement of the time, such as the Pussycat hats. In the middle you can see that I've actually listed that as our 10 favourite gay icons. You can see there that it's the rainbow flag, which is a well recognised icon of the gay community, and then it's got people there who they are identifying as being supporters of the gay movement or recognised as gay icons. And of course the first one there is Elton John. A lot of singers are in there because of the music that they produced. And of course on the top row on the far right is Freddie Mercury, who himself was gay, but also produced music which was popular in the gay culture. Then on the far right I've got symbols of the beginning of the civil rights movement in America, and they were pins, so badges that people wore on their garments to support the civil rights movement. The one down the bottom, the fist up in the air, that also then became an icon generally. So you can see it there in the feminist ones as well, so the fist up in the air. And you may also be familiar of the image from the athletes at the Olympic Games, where on the podium he raised his fist to the air. You may be aware of that image. So raising the fist to the air was a sign of defiance, and it's a sign of solidarity. So those pins are representing kind of a unity and trying to suggest where the civil rights movement should go. Then of course there are images that are generated by the moments in culture. So here I've got 3 images which are quite iconic for periods of time and relate to the culture of the time. So the first image is a napalm attack in Vietnam. That image went worldwide and started to change how people saw the Vietnam War, because you've got children there who have been affected by napalm. Then of course you've got the Twin Towers, which changed how culture thought about things. It changed how we thought about terrorism. It changed a few things about how the world operated on a geopolitical landscape, but it also changed some things culturally. All right, and the last one there is the person in front of the tanks in Tiananmen Square, which was again an iconic moment, and it highlighted some of the atrocities going on in China, which again changed the culture globally in raising geopolitical awareness of what was going on in China. So icons can be a range of things to represent a culture. They can be things to represent movements and be a part of a cultural movement, or they can be things that are generated as a part of that cultural moment, and then come to symbolise that cultural moment in history. So that was just an introduction to cultural icons. We'll be doing a bit of work on that in class.